Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica, and welcome to today's webinar on Milesight TS series, the 4R temperature guardian for cold chain. Starting with Frederick Tudor, the ice king of the 1800s, who shipped ice blocks to the Caribbean, to today's high-tech facilities. The cold chain has come a long way. Now, IoT companies like Milesight are enhancing the industry further. In the next 45 minutes, we'll start with a cold chain spotlight going through market trends, regulatory pressures, and the temperature monitoring challenges quickly. Then we'll present Milesight's strategy, focusing on the 4RC: right temperature, right time, right record, and right place, our product matrix and solution workflows. Next, we'll share success stories from real customers at every stage of the cold chain, highlighting how they reduce waste, minimize compliance risks, and improve ROI with our TS sensors. Finally, we'll dive into the TS series products, detailing which models best suit your needs, from ultra-low temp freezers to high-temperature processes. Feel free to ask questions in the chat at any time. I'll feed all of them at the end QA session. Let's dive straight into the global cold chain insights and see what's driving today's market boom. We're seeing an absolute boom in cold chain logistics. According to Fortune Business Insights, it's set to surge from $242 billion in 2021 to nearly $647 billion by 2028 at a 15.1% CAGR. The frozen food demand is huge. Its sales alone are jumped $20 billion, up 34% growth since 2019, despite inflation. The rise of direct-to-patient deliveries and online pharmaceutical purchases is significantly driving the demand for temperature-controlled logistics. According to the American Purchasing Society, 2.71 billion consumers worldwide purchased pharmaceutical products online in 2024, a figure expected to rise to 2.77 billion by the end of 2025. This surge includes the need to keep sensitive medications, such as the miracle weight loss drug. Ozempic must stay between 2 to 7 degrees Celsius to work their magic to stay effective. But keeping everything cold from source to final destination adds to the costs of shipping goods. According to DAT Freight and Analytics, refrigerated trucks cost more. A spot reefer runs about $2.46 per mile versus only $2.14 for dry vans in January 2024. And cold storage capacity is exploding. Builds soared from 300,000 to 3.3 million square feet in just 3 years. Those factors have illustrated the market growth capacity of cold chain logistics. Let's talk numbers, because nothing makes the case for cold chain management like the cost of getting it wrong. In pharma alone, the average company is losing around $95 million every year because of spoiled meds. In food and beverage, that's another $71 million a year wasted on spoiled fresh products. And it's not just a few unlucky companies. 97% of food and beverage leaders report spoilage in their fresh shipments. We're talking 210 US supply chain leaders saying the same thing. Temperature failures are eating away at their bottom line. But it's not just about lost money, it's about staying compliant. Regulators are watching. The FDA, EMA, and other authorities have strict rules on how you store and ship temperature-sensitive products. Take the US Food Safety Modernization Act. Food shippers, producers, and carriers must prove they kept things at the right temperature. If something goes wrong, the product can't be sold until it's declared safe. Mess this up, and you're facing recalls, lawsuits, and lost customer trust. Same story in Canada with the Safe Food for Canadians regulations. And it's getting stricter. By January 2026, the FDA's food traceability final rule will add even more rules around cooling and tracking. So with stricter rules and rising losses, reliable temperature monitoring isn't just a nice to have, it's non-negotiable. Across the cold chain, personnel such as truck drivers and grocery workers, who are responsible for temperature-sensitive goods, have traditionally read temperature gauges and recorded the results on paper fastened to a clipboard. Sometimes these numbers are then entered into a spreadsheet or online database. While this system is better than nothing, it has serious verification and reliability flaws that have implications for human health. Who can say whether the recorded temperature values actually reflect the real history of the shipment's temperature? If the temperature fluctuates wildly over the course of being transported, and only the beginning and end points are noted, there can be spoilage that may not be detected. This is one of the reasons lettuce winds up in the news in the United States last year. According to a survey by 210 U.S. supply chain decision makers in the pharmaceutical and food beverage industry, almost half of respondents are still jotting down readings by hand, 37% with pen and papers, 23% with a trusty alarm clock. That manual hustle not only eats time, but is a human error magnet. You know, drivers, grocery personnel, and food service workers are often busy, which can result in an inaccurate or missed record. At best, a hurried misreading of the gauge; at worst, totally imaginary readings quickly jotted down to fill in for missed readings. Another common problem is, typically there are 4 key actors who are responsible for a product as it moves through the supply chain to its destination, such as a grocery, pharmacy, restaurant, or convenience store. They include the loader, carrier, shipper, and receiver. This means goods and the responsibility for monitoring them change hands multiple times, and each of these parties may be using a different record-keeping system. Last but not least, equipment hiccups, think leaky freezer seals or busted doors, can instantly blow your cold chain. Cold chain temperature monitoring products have come a long way, evolving through 3 main stages: data loggers, probe thermometers, and wireless temperature sensors. The traditional data loggers only let you download data via USB or a handheld gadget after transport or storage is over. It's a passive approach. You're basically doing an after-the-fact audit. This means you can't step in and fix things when a temperature spike happens. Plus, to save costs, one logger usually covers an entire pallet or shipment. This makes it impossible to monitor temperature changes at the box or package level, so small, localized issues can easily slip through the cracks. And don't forget, data loggers need to be manually installed, removed, and have their data downloaded, which adds to labor costs and the risk of human error. Now, on to probe thermometers. These guys only capture the temperature at the exact moment you measure. They can't log temperature changes over time, track how long or how often excursions happen, or really assess the true impact on the product. Every time you open the fridge or truck and stick the probe in, you're disrupting the controlled environment. This not only causes temperature fluctuations, but can also mess up the sealed cold chain. You have to read the dial or display by hand and manually log each value, which increases the chance of mistakes and makes it impossible to automatically generate reports. More recently, temperature monitoring is commonly automated by way of wireless sensor technology to monitor, measure, and record real-time temperatures. An internet-enabled temperature monitor can monitor goods 24/7 every day of the year. In sharp contrast with manual logging, automated monitoring enables ongoing monitoring and fast alerts, and can support a predictive maintenance program that ensures equipment is serviced before an entire truckload or restaurant refrigeration unit has spoiled. With an IoT sensor, the temperature of a shipment is monitored and logged automatically. Once collected, this data can be stored in the cloud, can be viewed in near real time, typically 15-minute intervals, and be accessed from any internet-connected device, allowing the retrieval of these temperatures anytime and from anywhere. There's a rule of thumb that for a piece of technology to be replaced, the newer alternative has to be 10 times better than the existing solution. In this case, IoT, cold chain monitoring, isn't 10 times better than a driver with a pencil, it's exponentially better. Because close enough isn't good enough when lives and livelihoods are on the line due to spoiled vaccines or ruined shipments. So, For the utmost precise monitoring, Milesight wireless sensors are widely distributed in various scenarios and even travel with cargo throughout the cold chain, from production, storage, transport to final delivery. These devices continuously monitor and record temperature and humidity, even brightness level and vibration, all critical parameters for product safety. We've boiled cold chain temperature monitoring down to 4 mission-critical RAWs. First up, right temperature. Imagine you're dealing with ultra-sensitive items like vaccines or fresh produce. If COVID-19 vaccines thaw during transit, when they should be kept at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit, it's game over. So we deliver ultra-wide range monitoring from minus 200 plus 800 degrees Celsius, with lab-grade precision, independent probe calibration, and auto-drift compensation. Then you always know you're in spec. Next, right time. Time is mission-critical in cold chain logistics. Real-time responsiveness means your cooling system can dynamically adjust based on environmental changes, like when a truck door opens, or there's a sudden shift in outside temperature. Plus, real-time alerting allows sensors scream danger at the moment thresholds are breached. No more oops, we missed it. The low power consumption and high uptime design of our systems can significantly reduce maintenance costs over the years following installation. Moving on to the right record, keeping accurate records is essential. Our systems provide tamper-evident data. Any unauthorized changes are immediately noticeable. We can export data to PDF documents for easy sharing and compliance with regulatory standards. Reliable data storage and retransmission ensure that we have a complete and accurate history of temperature conditions throughout the entire transport process. Lastly, we have the right place. Position tracking is crucial to know exactly where your goods are at all times. Facility sealing, such as door sensors, helps maintain the integrity of the environment inside. Multi-point and distributed sensing means we can monitor conditions at various locations, ensuring comprehensive coverage and control. Milesight's wireless temperature sensing devices make it easy to achieve these 4 guardians. As a result, temperature-sensitive goods are consistently monitored, stored, and transported at the correct temperature, arrive at their intended destinations without delays, and meet regulatory requirements with proper documentation and reporting. So, what does Milesight bring to your cold chain? There are 4 big wins: total temperature coverage, built tough for the cold. All your data and assets stay locked down. And finally, it helps you save cash and skip the hassle. At Milesight, we offer a range of products that handle everything from temperature and humidity to security and safety monitoring for the whole cold chain. In your labs, cold storage rooms, we've got the EM300TH, EM320TH, and TS201TH models, all battle-tested for precisely temperature and humidity monitoring. When it's time to hit the road or last-mile delivery, you'll soon see our cellular 4G Cat1-based TS60X in action, alongside the disposable TS50X, so every package stays in range of temperature and humidity. If all you need is temperature monitoring, you've got plenty of options, like the TS101, TS201, TS30X, or EM500PT100. They can offer different types of temperature sensors to fit your needs. When it comes to security and safety in environmental monitoring, some customers prefer installing the AT101 outdoor asset tracker in their vehicles, while using the EM300 magnetic contact switch to keep an eye on facility seals. And don't forget, with the SCT01 sensor configuration tool, our LoRaWAN gateways, and these software platforms, you've got everything you need to build a full LoRaWAN-based cold chain solution. If you're new to LoRaWAN or the Milesight company, this workflow illustrates how Milesight IoT devices seamlessly integrate to ensure effective cold chain monitoring. The wireless sensors automatically collect the data you need in various scenarios such as labs and reefers to ensure proper temperature and/or humidity maintenance. To ensure accurate and ongoing monitoring, these wireless sensors can be configured to transmit data as often as required to meet your particular cold chain needs. Because they only transmit as needed, they're extremely power conscious and can last for years on batteries, ensuring a minimal amount of maintenance on your part. With a combination of wireless LoRaWAN sensors along with the LoRaWAN gateway and network, you can create an entire network to cover multiple cold chain locations. This network can be easily configured and monitored using a smartphone, tablet, or any other device that fits your needs. A LoRaWAN gateway receives data from and sends data to your wireless sensors. Once the gateway receives data from the sensors via LoRaWAN, it uses high bandwidth networks such as Wi-Fi or 4G cellular to transfer that sensor data over IP to the cloud. A single gateway can serve thousands of sensors, and by combining these wireless sensors with an associated gateway and LoRaWAN network server, you can create a low-cost, easy, automatic plug-and-play system. Install the batteries, plug in the cables, and your system is up and running. With this ease of use, retail service workers, restaurant managers, compliance employees, and any other pharmaceutical associated personnel do not need to be sensor or wireless experts. To receive your sensor's temperature and humidity readings in your application, you will need a central network service to manage your devices and securely route the data after it is received by the gateway. Choosing the right network server provider is critical to your cold chain monitoring solution. For example, the Milesight LoRaWAN gateways provide a built-in network server, which is a free service to forward data via MQTT or HTTP to your management platform. Additionally, the network server in the Milesight development platform is a paid, well-documented service offering elaborate and well-defined APIs to connect with your application cloud of choice, such as Microsoft Azure or AWS. To utilize the full benefits of wireless sensors, a complete end-to-end solution is necessary, which requires technology expertise and potential development for your particular cold chain monitoring environment. While the Milesight development platform can simplify the progress that ranging from the sensors to bridging data via gateways to the cloud, and finally the cloud analytics and server pieces to make use of the sensor data itself. It's not only about LoRaWAN. One of the biggest technological advancements for temperature monitoring systems has been the development of communication capabilities. While cellular networks continue to expand, carriers can utilize cellular-based systems to connect with vehicles seamlessly across the globe. And with data plans cheaper than ever, you can transfer more information at more frequent intervals. So, besides LoRaWAN, you can also use Milesight's 4G LTE Cat1 sensors during transit and delivery, give you that always-on visibility wherever your shipment goes. Next, I'd like to share some inspiring real-world cases where Milesight has partnered with experts and professional solution providers from the global cold chain industry. The first story comes from a vineyard in Chihuahua, Mexico. The solution integrates the EM300TH temperature and humidity sensor, WS301 magnetic contact switch, UG67 outdoor gateway, and UC300 controller to provide real-time monitoring and alerts for temperature in fermentation tanks and cold rooms, and even door status. Check out the video to see how it works.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Nos encontramos en un viñedo en el cual hemos implementado la tecnología de LoRa y ha sido todo un éxito. Hemos monitoreado lo que es la temperatura en los tanques de fermentación, hemos monitoreado la temperatura en cuartos fríos, hemos monitoreado los estados de las puertas, si son abiertas, si han sido cerradas, y también podemos generar alertas a través de estos estados de temperatura o de las puertas. Todo esto, les recuerdo, implementado con la tecnología de LoRa. Como pueden ver, esta tecnología es de muy fácil instalación y la podemos instalar en casi cualquier escenario, ¿eh? Controles de acceso, automatización, vigilancia, entre muchísimas cosas más.
In addition, Milesight has achieved remarkable success in various production stages of the global cold chain industry. Whether in food manufacturing in Finland, Singapore, or the Coca-Cola laboratory in Shanghai, they all ditched the old clipboard and pen routine and switched to Milesight's EM300TH, EM320TH, and our rugged EM500PT100 sensors. Before, teams were scurrying around with clipboards, scribbling down temperatures in fermentation tanks, cold rooms, and fridges, hoping no one forgot a check during shift changes or got pulled onto another task. It was slow, easy to make mistake, and costly, such as spoiled batches or fines for missing logs. Now, it's fully automated. Temps and humidity get logged in real time. Alerts are triggered the instant anything drifts out of range, and everyone gets solid data they can actually use. And this typical case from Austria can tell us why keeping our perishable foods at the right temperature really matters. Imagine you're shipping meats, poultry, seafood, you name it, and suddenly the temperature drifts up even a few degrees. You don't just lose that perfect frozen texture, you risk spoilage. And worst case, you're creating a breeding ground for bacteria that can make people sick. Now for fresh stuff, think lettuce, berries, cut fruit, you've got an even tighter window. Take iceberg lettuce. At 33 to 39 degree Fahrenheit, it can stay crisp and fresh for up to 15 days. But bump it up to 47 degree Fahrenheit, and suddenly you've cut its life down to 5 days, and you've opened the door to bacterial growth. In fact, just last year in the UK, over 80 people ended up in the hospital after an E. coli outbreak linked to undercooled lettuce used in salads and sandwiches. That's why from the farm to the supermarket, and even behind the deli counter, everyone in the cold chain has to be on the same page about temperature control. Freshness isn't just a nice to have, it's what keeps customers happy, keeps your brand reputation intact, and ultimately keeps people safe. To address this challenge, our partner M2M in Germany teamed up with a major Austrian supermarket chain, deploying thousands of Milesight sensors across over 150 stores. We installed 3,000 EM300TH sensors in refrigerated areas to monitor temperature and humidity, and 1,000 EM500PT100 sensors in deep freeze zones. This setup provides real-time data across all shelves and freezers, allowing immediate alerts for any temperature issues, so nothing gets missed. Hospital environments and medicine facilities require secure 24/7 monitoring to maintain drugs, vaccines, blood, tissues, and critical medical equipment within specified temperature and humidity ranges. Variations in temperature readings, even the smallest, can make the difference between life-saving medications and pharmaceuticals. That's where our Milesight twins, the EM300TH and EM500PT100 wireless sensors, come in. We deploy them in key locations, including hospitals in Turkey and Singapore. They send real-time temperature and humidity data straight to an easy-to-use dashboard or app, so staff can get instant alerts and full reports whenever they need them. During the COVID-19 period, more than 100 of EM500 PT100 were used to track and monitor vaccine temperature to decrease waste, improve customer confidence, and increase inoculation rates via a public Lorawa network in Indonesia. Besides that, Milesight has partnered with dozens of other clients to nail the challenge of monitoring temperature across food, medicine, and water industries. In France, retail stores needed to meet government regulations for building automation and control systems and get certified for the A-grade energy efficiency standard. So, they needed precise temperature monitoring in refrigerators to cut down on manual record keeping and boost energy efficiency. In India, the pharmaceutical industry had to deal with strict rules requiring continuous temperature monitoring, including biannual calibration of probes. This made it difficult to keep monitoring uninterrupted and stay compliant. In the Netherlands, the focus was on stopping Legionella bacteria from growing by keeping an eye on water temperatures between 20 and 45 degrees Celsius. Real-time alerts were crucial when temperatures hit levels that could lead to bacterial growth. Milesight's TS201 and TS302 models made a big difference in all these cases. They provided automated, accurate, and reliable monitoring, with features like independent calibration, real-time alerts, and PDF file export, ensuring compliance and operational efficiency. Through the trial case in Czech Republic, we can tell something is happening in the pharmaceutical industry. This industry is really changing, and a big part of that is the need for reliable temperature-controlled packaging. These solutions are crucial for keeping sensitive products like vaccines, biologics, and insulin at the right temperatures during transport and storage. If the temperature goes off, it can mess with the drug's effectiveness and even risk patient safety, leading to expensive recalls and penalties. But there are still some challenges. The cold chain can be complex, and in many developing regions, there's not enough infrastructure to keep things consistently cool. This is especially true in rural areas of low and middle income countries, where inadequate cold storage makes drug distribution tough. So what's driving this transformation? Well, it's the IoT tech. We're seeing the rise of long-range, low-power data communication networks, like LoRaWAN and 4G Cat1, along with various temperature sensors. These are used in cold chain systems to keep biologics between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius, certain drugs at minus 20 degrees, and advanced mRNA vaccines below minus 70 degrees Celsius. Smart sensors for monitoring, recording, and reporting temperatures are helping companies meet global regulations from the FDA, EMA, and WHO. One game changer has been the integration of IoT into pharmaceutical packaging. Wireless sensors now keep an eye on temperature, humidity, shock, and light exposure in real time. This has cut down spoilage and product loss by up to 80%. Take the Milesight TS smart sensors. For example, they provide real-time transparency across the entire supply chain. Moreover, in the near future, pharmacies, hospitals, and even patients, they can verify product integrity through QR codes or mobile apps, building trust like never before. In this section, I will introduce the EM and TS series sensors in detail one by one. If you haven't tried Milesight temperature sensors yet, or if you're wondering why to choose Milesight over others, please stay with me. Generally, Milesight temperature sensors are available with 3 different probe types: PT100, DS18B20, and digital TH sensors. Each type has its own set of advantages. PT100 is platinum resistance temperature detector that offers high accuracy and stability across a wide temperature range from minus 200 to plus 800 degrees Celsius. So when precision is non-negotiable, PT100 deliver lab-grade accuracy, stable, repeatable measurements across extreme temperatures. The models that incorporate PT100 sensors include TS30X, TS602, and TS502. The DS18B20, on the other hand, is a digital temperature sensor that communicates through a one-wire bus where multiple sensors can coexist, simplifying integration into consumer electronics and suitable for temperatures ranging from minus 55 to 125 degrees Celsius. With a high accuracy and a query time of less than 0.75 seconds, these sensors provide reliable and fast temperature readings. Models such as TS101, TS201, TS602, and 502 utilize DS18B20 sensor. A digital TH probe, such as Sensorin SHT30 and 41-based, combines a capacitive humidity sensor with a bandgap-based temperature element in a tiny CMOS package. These sensors offer long-term stability, an excellent price-performance ratio, ultra-low power fast response, and strong anti-interference, making them perfect for environmental monitoring, but they're less rugged than probe-style RTDs. Models like EM320, EM300TH, TS201TH, TS60X, and TS50X incorporate digital TH sensors, ensuring comprehensive environmental monitoring. So we've covered how to pick the right Milesight device based on probe type. Next, let's look at another key factor, certifications. In many cases, it's not just about what the sensor does, but whether it meets the standards needed for the job. HACCP, or Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point, is a global standard for food safety management. Nearly all Milesight temperature sensors fully meet these requirements for food businesses, except the EM300TH. And because compliance can't be an afterthought, all Milesight temperature sensing models meet EN 12830, the European standard for cold chain temperature measurement equipment, except the TSES 101 insertion sensor. For the FDA approval, the EM320TH uses food-grade enclosure, and TS30X uses food-grade probe, so they're safe to use around food and medicine. And the TS30X even carries 21 CFR Part 11B certification for pharmaceutical cold chain data integrity, focusing on preventing data tampering. And we'll see what regulatory will be achieved by TS50X once it's available. You can select the most suitable sensor based on your specific environment. For static settings like labs and cold rooms, we offer these 5 proven models for both production and storage applications. When it comes to transportation or last-mile delivery, our cellular Cat1 enabled TS60X, together with the disposable TS50X, ensure that every package remains monitored, not just for temperature and humidity, but also for vibration and light levels. All right, let's take a look at this slide. Milesight offers a range of temperature and humidity sensors tailored for different applications. This comparison table is designed to help you quickly find the right sensor for your needs. You can easily compare features like data transmission technology, whether it's LoRa or cellular sensor types, cable lengths, IP ratings, and temperature ranges. Of course, temperature monitoring doesn't mean much if the sensors you are using aren't accurate. A malfunctioning or inaccurate device could mean an inaccurate temperature reading of a few degrees. This is enough to allow bacteria to grow and fester, especially if it's over a few hours. Likewise, if your sensors are too hard to use or read, implementing them won't do much good if your employees can't use them. That's where Milesight's temperature sensing devices come in. Our sensors can help you meet various compliance and automate your food or pharmaceutical safety checklist. This makes us the leading choice for simple, accurate, and reliable food, grocery, drug, and medicine temperature monitoring. Feel free to take your time and go through the table to figure out which sensor best fits your application. For reliable temperature and humidity measurements in production environments or storage facilities, the twin devices from the M300 series are excellent choices. They both have some awesome features. They can measure relative humidity from 0 to 100%. They're IP67 rated, so they can handle both indoor and outdoor conditions. Their batteries last about 10 years. They can store up to 2,800 historical records and retransmit data to prevent any loss. Now, both of these devices use high-quality Sensorion temperature and humidity sensors. But the EM320TH has an edge because it uses the 4th-generation sensor, which is more accurate in temperature measurement and helps the battery last even longer. One more thing, the enclosures. EM300TH uses anti-UV, flame-retardant material, great for harsh conditions. And the 320th is made from FDA-approved, food-safe material, so it's spot on for use around food. So, to sum it up, if you need better accuracy and something that can be used with food, the 320th is the way to go. All right, now that we've covered the models with built-in temperature and humidity sensors, let's dive into those with external probes. First up, we have the TS101 insertion temperature sensor. This sensor is perfect for directly monitoring the temperature of materials like food and agricultural-related items. It uses a DS18B20 temperature probe to provide continuous and accurate readings, ensuring you always know the status of your goods. Next, we have the TS201 temperature only or temperature and humidity sensor. This versatile sensor can be equipped with either a DS18B20 probe or a digital TH probe. It's designed for self-calibration with detachable probes, making it a cost-effective yet highly efficient solution for various applications. Finally, we have the TS30X temperature sensor. This high-precision sensor uses the industrial-grade, platinum-resistance temperature detector, PT100 probe, and offers dual versions. It supports 5 different ranges of temperature probes and 1 magnetic sensor for integration, making it incredibly flexible for different monitoring needs in both static and dynamic cold chain scenarios. Now, let me show you one of my favorites for smart temperature monitoring, the TS101. First off, it's totally wireless thanks to LoRaWAN, no messy cables, just plug in and go. Inside, it uses the trusted DS18B20 sensor wrapped in a food-grade Cis316 stainless steel probe. That means it's corrosion and phosphine resistant, so you can poke it right into hay bales, tobacco stacks, compost piles, or even straight into your cold chain storage, and never worry about hygiene or rust. Rugged? You bet. It's IP67 waterproof, dustproof, and IK10 impact rated. Drop it, splash it, freeze it, it just keeps on ticking. And thanks to that beefy 4000 mAh battery, you're looking at up to 10 years of life with regular reporting intervals. Setup is a breeze too. Just tap your phone via NFC, and you're done. It'll store 1,200 readings on board and automatically retransmit anything you miss, so you won't lose a single data point. The probe itself is 400 millimeter long, handles -30 to 70 degree with plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius accuracy, and gives you real time, inside the pile temperatures you can trust. So, in a nutshell, if you need precise, no-fuss temperature checks in tough environments, whether that's agro, compost, or cold storage, the TS101 is your go-to. Let's check out the newly released version of the TS201 temperature sensor. What's new? First up, dual detection capability. The TS201th now keeps an eye on both temperature and humidity, thanks to a new digital TH probe. This makes it perfect for all your environmental monitoring needs, covering temperatures from -40 to 125 degrees Celsius. Next, enhanced user-friendliness. We've made the new version easier to use. It has an external power button, so you can turn it on only when you need it. For example, you can press the button to get instant temperature and humidity readings or check the LoRaWAN network join status with a dual-color LED indicator. Also, optional thermal buffer bottle. Just like the old version, the new version offers an optional thermal buffer bottle filled with glucose, perfect for pharmaceutical monitoring. And finally, improved data storage. On the software side, we've bumped up the data storage capacity from 2,800 records in the old version to 4,000 records in the new TH version. This comparison table highlights the differences and impressive features of the new TH and the old one. Both versions come with detachable probes, so you can pop out yourself. You don't have to take out or replace the whole sensor. You just swap the probe and send it off for calibration, stick your spare back in, and you're back up and running in seconds. This design minimizes downtime and keeps the monitoring going smoothly. Whether you go with the DS18B20 temperature probe or the digital TH probe, they cover the same temperature range. This makes them great for chilling and freezing applications. Plus, both the enclosure box and the probes are IP67 rated, so they're really durable. Besides, the new version supports Milesight D2D and the remote firmware updates over the air using Milesight gateways and the Milesight development platform, while the old version doesn't have these features. If you're on the lookout for a LoRaWAN temperature sensor with an LCD display, you should definitely check out the TS30X series. These sensors can hook up to 5 types of high-accuracy PT100 temperature probes, covering a wide range from -200 to +500 degrees Celsius. You've got options like A-class and B-class straight-tube probes made from 304 stainless steel, and a class food-grade needle-type probes made from 316 stainless steel. These flexible choices mean the sensors can work in various scenarios, including tough industrial applications, air duct temperature monitoring, specific liquid nitrogen medical settings, food manufacturing, pharmaceutical storage, refrigerators, and walk-in freezer rooms, you name it. Now, the TS301 model has just one channel for temperature monitoring. But if you need more, the TS302 comes with 2 channels. That means you can connect either 2 PT100 sensors or mix and match a temperature sensor with a door magnetic sensor. To meet HAXP requirements, these sensors have a handy USB port for exporting data directly in PDF format, which helps prevent tampering. Plus, they can store up to 10,000 historical records and support retransmission to make sure you don't lose any data. In addition to being HAXP compliant, both sensors meet 21 CFR Part 11B requirements, are certified to the EN 12830 standard, and are suitable for food applications if you choose the A-class food-grade probe. There's also an optional thermal buffer bottle filled with glycose if you need it. You can power these sensors either with batteries or via a Type-C USB connection. Depending on how many probes you connect, the battery life can last anywhere from 5 to 15 years. Introducing the upcoming heroes for dynamic cold chain temperature monitoring, the TS50X and TS60X series, perfect for environmental monitoring during transportation and delivery. With the widespread adoption of 4G Cat1 technology, we're able to offer low-power wireless versions of these products for reefer containers and cargo delivery temperature monitoring. In June, you will meet the TS60X series first. They offer real-time monitoring for temperature, humidity, light level, and vibrations. In addition, through the SIM card-based positioning, you'll get location data. There are 2 versions to choose from. The TS601, which features an internal temperature and humidity sensor, and the TS602 will support 3 external probe options: PT100, DS18B20, and digital TH, covering a wide temperature range from -200 to +500 degrees Celsius. From a functionality point of view, the TS50X offers almost the same powerful features as the 60X. However, it'll be positioned as a disposable sensor or single-use sensor and be offered at a more lovely price. Thanks to its compact size, it can be easily placed into any cargo package, whether for pharmaceutical or food temperature-controlled applications. As the product is still in the planning stages, more information will be shared in the coming months. Please stay tuned. Here's why they're game changers. They offer real-time monitoring for temperature, humidity, light, and vibrations. The light sensor will alert you if the reefer container or truck is opened during the journey, and the vibration sensor can tell if the cargo has tipped over. With 4G Cat1 cellular connectivity, you get a reliable signal anywhere, even in the middle of nowhere. This is perfect for cross-border shipments where Wi-Fi isn't an option. Moreover, the location tracking through the SIM card-based positioning provides you with location data. So it's not GPS-based, but SIM card-based. These sensors can store up to 5,000 historical records locally and retransmit data when the cellular network is restored, so you won't lose any important information. Built tough with an IP67 rating and FDA-approved food contact materials, these sensors ensure safety and reliability even when contact with food. The battery life is impressive too, lasting up to 3 years. They report every 4 hours and collect data every 15 minutes, so you don't have to worry about constant recharging. There are 2 versions to choose from. The TS601, which features an internal temperature and humidity sensor, will be launched first. Then, the TS602 will follow with 3 external probes, PT100, DS18B20, and digital TH, covering a wide temperature range from -200 to +500 degrees Celsius. So, if you want to keep your cold transport under control, these sensors are definitely the way to go.